All's Nasty forum thread dated 8/24, redacted, Alexandria Standard Time. Title, Cemetery Monster Mash.
I follow a couple of paranormal boards here and there, find some loonies to munch my popcorn to and laugh at. Usually it's worth a chuckle, and then I move on with my day. Today, I found something worth sharing with all the All's Nasty gremlins. So I'm scrolling through the other day, a couple of overdramatic witches brew posting, nothing too crazy. Started getting bored of catfights ages ago. But then I see something interesting. A repost of a blog by the name of the Illuminated Occult Society. It's obviously meant to have multiple people running it, but for whatever reason, it's just the one guy keeping the lights on in there now. This particular post was addressing the rumors of a vampire at the Lowgate Cemetery in...
It has recently come to our attention that a series of potential psychic attacks have occurred at the Lowgate Cemetery. At the behest of the local citizenry, we have begun a modest investigation into the affair. Historically, there have been many reports of feeling chills or having one's energy drained when passing by the burial grounds, which is often a sign of latent psychic potential, whether conscious or otherwise. In the last several months, these attacks have increased in intensity, ranging from bouts of fainting in front of the gates, collective recounts of strange figures in the night, and potentially one or two cases of temporary possession, which have invariably led the victims back to Lowgate. Here at the Society, our initial findings indicate the presence of a psychic vampire that has taken up residence somewhere within the cemetery. We intend to increase the scope of our investigation into the incidents, but it must first pass the Society's vote. If passed, we will be sending members to the cemetery personally to perform workings and see if we cannot calm this spirit. Until this decision has been reached, we appreciate any information you may possess on this incident.
Alright. At this point, you are most likely thinking to yourself, why should I care? These weirdos think that a little cold wind means a literal vampire is sucking upon your spiritual essence or some bullshit like that. But right under, and I mean immediately under, was a post made by this guy, Lords Winchester. It, of course, features the exact same topic, just with a slightly different perspective.
It has been confirmed to me that vampires do indeed walk among us. I had been searching for years to no avail, when quite suddenly an opportunity presented itself, and the creature has made itself known. My knowledge of the thing began with a curious visit. A young woman seeking the aid of the priesthood. She had a complaint of weakness and nighttime wanderings in the throes of slumber. I knew what I was dealing with immediately. Her creamy skin had gone pale, her face gaunt, and yet her blue eyes were filled with such a desire for succor that shall never leave my mind. I took her case immediately. I prepared the usual preventatives, holy water, garlic flowers, symbols of the Lord placed all over her bedchamber, but I knew that, inevitably, someone would dispose of them. They always do. Perhaps it is the suggestive power of the creature? Regardless, the relics were removed, but I was prepared. I followed the girl in her bout of sleepwalking, all the way to the Lowgate Cemetery. Before she could enter the lair, I grabbed her in my arms and carried her away. But now I know where my enemy sleeps. Updates to follow.
I looked the guy up for shits and giggles. He posts on conspiracy boards a lot. He'll work whatever you tell him into his weird vampire hunter for the Lord roleplay. Sad part is that I think he actually believes it. But holy hell, right? In one corner we've got the Pseudoscience Society, hunter after who'sama what's it's come to steal your soul energy, and in the other corner a conspiracy nut who thinks he's about to take down Dracula. As you can see, I'm rubbing my greasy little mitts together, because these two guys are investigating the exact same place, right? They're probably going to run into each other at some point. I will be sure to keep an eye peeled for future updates.
Vampires? Yeah, sure thing. Oh wait, you said psychic vampires? That's fine then.
Are you never not here?
You're gonna talk, mouthy cunt.
I've honestly been called worse.
Stop clogging up the thread! I want to hear about the vampires! Okay, so which of these freaks do we think is more retarded? Flower Power Jam or Fire and Brimstone McGee? Personally, give me an old-fashioned stick-to-the-heart Dracula any day.
I mean, at least the society's a little creative. Winnie over there just got a hold of the Stoker original and took it as gospel. Boring! I want to know what a psychic vampire is. They're both idiots and have never met a vampire in their lives.
It's an interesting development, to be sure. There have been rumors surrounding Lowgate for decades, but the vampire angle is one I've never heard before.
Hey! Hey! It's been like a week. Updates?
Just checked this morning and read some, entertaining developments over a mug of Earl Grey. Also, I realized I forgot to mention, Society Jim's username is FarEnt. We've got one solid update from each of them. Let's start with Winnie, as his is a little more straightforward.
Alas! My holy mission seems to be constantly hounded by the forces of the devil. It appears the local police have become thralls to this horrible beast, as my attempt to penetrate the inner sanctum has resulted in repeated harassment. I must be close to its lair, as the boys in blue seem more and more anxious to keep me away. Perhaps it is as I thought, and those in positions of power really are worshippers of Satan. Perhaps one of them is the very creature I seek. From my admittedly limited forays into Lowgate, I have with little question located the vampire's resting place. As soon as I approached the largest of the mausoleums, I felt a terrible sense of foreboding. There has been bloodshed there, I could tell. And I must slay the beast as soon as I can. The past few weeks has seen a positive influx of victims. Young women weakened by the beast and practically fainting into my arms. This creature must be stopped, and I fear I am the only man with the strength to do what must be done.
This guy's gonna get himself arrested, but if he does manage to avoid the cops, he's got a pretty strong lead on Mr. FarEnt. He finally got permission to start investigating.
The board has finally given me their blessing to begin the investigation. After presenting my initial findings, they had to deliberate for several days before delivering a proper and well-considered verdict on the matter. It's a good thing people have actually been affected, or it could have taken weeks. I have been given a small budget and access to the Society's supply of investigation equipment, which will prove a huge boon to my efforts. I am focusing my line of inquiry in two directions: Satanists and spirit energy. The Satanists are the more ordinary and slightly more likely answer. There have been rumors for years of Satanists using Lowgate as a site of power for their rituals. If true, passers-by could be affected by the ritual's energy requirements. My little pet theory, however, is that the rumors of a vampire may be caused by wandering spirits inhabiting the cemetery. They could be feeding off of the victim's energy in order to sustain their forms on this plane. A psychic vampire, if you will. I will be bringing down equipment and beginning my investigation post-haste. There is only one thing that worries me. I have been told that I am not the only one after this vampire. I am more than familiar with the individual in question. He thinks he is some hero of the church, the star of some Victorian-era pulp. He gives paranormal researchers a bad name. With any luck, he will prove to not be an issue.
If I had to guess, he's going to be an issue.
What a fascinating character study. Thank you, Garden Serpent, for keeping us up to date on the shenaniganry. It's not necessarily easy. Well, FarEnt always posts to the blog, but it's usually buried under a heap of pseudo-philosophical musings. Lords Winchester posts all over the place, so it's sometimes hard to pick up the thread.
Your efforts are commendable. I wish they were easier to find.
Bump. Just to keep it alive.
It has come to my attention that I have been summoned to speak of my exploit to the masses.
Who the fuck did this?
Oops! My hand slipped!
This fine young woman told me that you all have questions about my duties as a slayer of the unholy.
Shit, I'll bite. Ha. Do you really believe that the thing you're after is a real, bona fide, blood-sucking vampire?
Of course! These are beings detested by God. They have offended the Almighty, and it is up to us as His servants to strike them down and send them to their proper place in the pit.
Yeah, and devil worshippers are converting children to Satanism with heavy metal music and D&D.
See! Here is a son of God who speaks the truth. I find myself among friends.
Actually, many sects of Satanism are less like your typical Christian worship than has been assumed. Satanists tend to be unconcerned with conversion and saving individuals, and more with honoring one's own will and independence. In fact, many tenets of mainstream Satanism came about as a direct reaction to some of the more controversial elements of Christianity.
And there's the other one.
I have just read through the rest of this thread. FarEnt, it would appear that you are also looking to destroy this foul beast. However, your methods and theories may prove to be a hindrance to the work that must be done.
I believe this may be the only thing we agree on. If you continue your obnoxious rambling, you will do much damage to the reputation of paranormal research at large. If you proceed with your extermination, as you call it, with such bluntness, you will not solve the problem. You may make it worse.
Honestly, Bad Apple, thank you for this. This is much easier. Now, if you'll excuse me, I want to go get some popcorn.
+1.
+2.
Hey, so are you two gonna, like, fight to the death or something? I'm thinking like a lightsabers on Mount Doom kind of deal.
Don't be ridiculous. This is a problem to be solved, and I simply don't have time to spend on hindrances.
I will fight till my last breath to make sure that every last unholy abomination be cleansed from these lands. And if any one man stands in my way, then I will be forced to smite him where he stands! What's a lightsaber?
Do not feed the trolls. Must you insist on making an idiot of yourself at every moment? Wouldn't you rather get to the bottom of what's actually going on in that cemetery?
There is no need for an investigation. Simply an assault. I already know all too well what creature stalks betwixt those graves. All I need is a stake and a blessing from the Lord to do his holy work.
But what if you're wrong? What if the culprit is nothing you can see? Nothing you can kill? Or worse, what if you accidentally kill some innocent Wiccans or other practitioners? Think of the damage that might do to the entire field of parascience.
By the grace of the Lord! Young women are being attacked in their beds! This creature must be put down now!
This is going nowhere, and I abhor public displays of indecency. Would you please allow me to DM you?
And then there was silence.
It's been a while. Do you think they're all right?
They're probably making out or some gay shit like that.
Let us be patient, fellow gremlins. I'm sure the answer will come in time.
We have come to an agreement.
Direct message from FarEnt to Lords Winchester.
Then it is decided. We will commence our investigation of the cemetery on the 17th, 1500 hours.
So, we're all showing up to this, right?
Post by user Bad Apple contains an embedded video. Title, Idiot Circus. Video no longer available. Transcript to follow.
Remind me why we're here again?
It's an internet meetup, Mike. We're here to have a good laugh at other people's expense.
You know, you've been ruining a lot less people's lives lately.
I'm building back up to it. If I created abominations towards God all the time, it'd lose its novelty. Wait, did I just hear something?
Is that a priest?
Where? I can't see! Lift me up, Nihil! Oh, yes, that's one of them! Where's the other one?
How in the nine hells did they all find out about this?
Oh, there he is!
Didn't you say he posted it to the forums?
He did. I never said it was on purpose.
Ugh, great. So this isn't a meetup, it's a mob. I don't want to be here.
Think of it as the ultimate exposure therapy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid this investigation is a closed affair. We are professionals and we're still considering—
We are going to slaughter the beast! It lives here, in this hollowed ground, deep beneath the earth. We are going to take our blessed water and our stakes and we will plunge them through its accursed heart.
What are you doing? There is a very real danger here. We need to warn these people.
Strength in numbers. The more the merrier, I say. Let them join us in our extermination.
Don't you understand? Lives could be at stake. We must go carefully and cautiously.
We must kill the creature before sundown. Is there a reason you would prefer it to live another night? Perhaps you too are enthralled to it.
You are insane.
You will not sway my convictions. You will be the first evil soul purged.
This is an unlawful assembly. Please disband immediately.
Well, time to go.
Wait, Nihil! Things are just getting good! Nihil!
End video.
So that went about as well as expected.